We're here with Frank Warren at Frederick's Restaurant. Just had the press conference for Chris Eubank Jr.'s next fight. First of all, what did you make of the previous fight against Billy Joe Saunders?
I thought it was one of the fights of the year, and I thought that Billy Joe won the fight. And I thought young Chris Eubanks came out of it with a lot of credit.
And in terms of Chris Eubank's next fight, how much do you know about his opponent and what can we expect from that fight?
Well, I've had him on a couple of my shows. He's a tough guy. He's come on a bit since then. He's well schooled. He early part of his career was out in the States. I think he had about 7 fights in America. You know, it'll be a tough fight for him. It's another step up for him.
Definitely. And it's for the WBA interim title. Of course, Billy Joe hopefully going to fight for the WBO title. Do you think those two, we could see the paths cross again? It would be
great if both of them won, and then they got the 2 belts on the line. That would be a great fight. It'd turn it even into a bigger fight than the rematch would be. It's a big fight anyway. It's a big fight without any belts, but certainly that would embellish it.
And with the Andy Lee Billy Joe Saunders fight, how close is that to coming to fruition?
Adam Booth and I are having quite a few, we're having lengthy negotiations about it. WBO have pushed the deadline back for agreement till next Monday, and I'm sure within the next few days we'll be making an announcement as to how we see this fight happening.
And in terms of some of the other fights on this bill, Tyson Fury headlining the card. What can we expect from Tyson this year?
Well, Tyson's stepping up to the plate. It's not like a marking time fight where you're bringing in some stiff for him. I mean, the guy's ranked number 4. He's a big puncher, and Tyson's got his hands full. But that's the type of fighter he is, and hopefully he comes through this. Hopefully Klitschko comes through his fight against the American that he's fighting. He comes through that, then they get it on in the summer.
And have you what's the latest with the Klitschkos and negotiations?
We were talking, trying to bring it forward, but that unfortunately we couldn't work it out. So he's going to fight, Klitschko's fighting Jennings now in the States in April. And
will you be having a close eye on the Stavern Wilder fight as well as a potential opponent for Tyson?
Of course, it's a fight that we're absolutely interested in for all the right reasons. It's another world title fight, so be interested to see. The fight's on Box Nation on Saturday, so the British viewers can watch it as well, and we can all form our opinion whether that might be another route for Tyson.
For sure. And Tyson, in his last fight, of course, beat Derek Chisora. What's the latest with Derek?
Derek, as you know, had a bit of a problem outside the ring. He got into a verbal dispute with someone and was fined over that and got some community service. So he's got to get that community service done before we even think about what his next fight's going to be. But he says he wants to fight on.
Definitely. And what else can we expect from yourself and the shows and Box Nation in the coming months?
Well, we've got Paul Butler fighting on the 6th of March. He's fighting for Teti for the IBF Super Flyweight title up at the Echo Arena. On the undercard, Derry Matthews will be fighting in a world title fight that we're going to announce tomorrow. So there's 2 world title fights on there, plus a good undercard featuring some of the good fighters from up in that area, including Liam Smith and the other guys. Andy Lee in his title fight, Billy Joe maybe against Andy Lee. We've got a cracking eliminator which is taking place at Wolverhampton on the 14th of February, which is between Terry Flanagan and Steve Allman. That is a great fight. And that's before we start putting all these guys back together and fighting each other again.
There's a few fellas out there don't know what to get their girlfriends for Valentine's Day. Wolverhampton on the 14th.
I think the girls should buy their fellas a ticket for Valentine's. We give them all a box of chocolates yesterday on the seat.
Oh, fantastic, Frank. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you, young man.